Itzhak Beery, shamanic healer, teacher, and author who trained primarily in the Ecuadorian and Brazilian Amazonian traditions. He has been practicing for more than 20 years. Welcome, Itzhak.
Wonderful to be with you, Kathy.
Again,
Yes.
here we are. So we're going to spend a lot of time in this segment talking about an actual journey. We're going to do one, and we're going to talk much more about that. But before we start, I want you to tell me a little bit about the shamanic tradition.
So the shamanic tradition is using the unseen reality, or what we call consciousness, to receive information from the unseen world, from spirit. And shamans use many different techniques to enter into this reality. One of them is drumming, or rattling, or dancing, trance dancing, plant medicine, and so many different ways, so they can enter into that world of trance, or a way to receive information from the other spirit, which is a common theme in shamanism, that in every practice of shamanism anywhere in the world, that the world is divided into three worlds: the upper world, middle world, and lower world. And on each one of them there is a different energies, or a different consciousness that we can tap into with our mind to receive information. And shamans use spirit, or in many cases animal spirit, to use as a guide, or as tools to connect to different energies, or consciousness, or wisdom that is within our universe.
That's great. So what practice are we going to do then? So we're going to do a little journey.
We're going to do a shamanic journey that is part of the traditions in Mongolia, and used now pretty much in the core shamanism in the United States. It's kind of developed by Michael Harner from the Foundation of Shamanic Studies. It's a very simple and elegant technique to enter into the lower world, which is the world of the feminine energies, or the Mother Earth. It's the passion, creativity, the life-giving forces. And in this world, the world of the feminine energy, that's where traditionally shamans find spirit in the form of animals. And animals is anything that fly, anything that walk, anything that swim, and everything that crawl. There's no difference in the power or the medicine that each of the animals possess and can help you with. And all we have to do is connect with these energies and ask if what they can teach us about our life, what is it we possess, and what is it that we need to learn to benefit our life, or for other people, or other events in other people's life. So the technique is very simple. I'm going to be drumming for about 5, 6, 7 minutes. And it's going to be very fast. It's going to be between 160 to 180 drum per minute. And it's going to lower your brainwave from a beta, which is where you are now, into an alpha, which is a little deeper, which is the state where your brain is in the dream world. Not the deep world, but the dream, which is almost like a daydreaming. And you're going to close your eyes, and you're going to see visions, and let this vision lead you. It's not like meditation, deep meditation, that you're trying to release them. Stick to that vision
and sort of and go with it. Sort of like don't wait for it to come, but I can actually actively visualize something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like the shamans in the Amazon say, that the world is as we dream it. Everything in this world is made of energy, and we are creating the shapes and forms by energy that is running in different speeds and different. So everything that you see, everything that you can create is just the same. So if you get stuck in this journey, just make it up. It's just fine.
And also not to put any judgment on it, just like go with it. Because
Exactly.
I mean, from my own experiences, if I put judgment on it and go, oh, this can't happen, how is this happening, or whatever, or think this isn't happening, then nothing happens, and I end up, for whatever that time frame is sort of spinning and frustrated, really. So
Yeah, I think that it's in many ways it's like children when they have that daydreaming. You know, like you sit down and you're like imagining things, and
like
you
a
don't.
fantasy.
It's like a fantasy.
Yeah.
And I think that we have a little bit of judgment about fantasy, about dreaming, about all that. Oh, this is just, you know.
Right.
No, I mean, in our world, this is messages from spirit. It's not just daydreaming. You are connecting to a different level of consciousness in the unseen world, and just be with that. Whole judgment, like you said, just watch it like you're watching television, like you're watching a movie. The difference is that you can interact with those visions, you can ask questions, you can move with them, you will feel in your body, you'll feel different experiences, maybe part of your body will speak. And some people see or feel differently. You know, the shamanic journey not necessarily it's just a visual thing, it could be emotional. You may feel something inside you. You may, your body start to vibrate in different places in your body. You may hear a word, you may hear a sentence. This is fine too. You may not see the whole power animal. Maybe you'll see just part of it, like an eye or mouth, or they may lick you. Sometimes the communication between the shamans and the power animals is body language. It's not necessarily words.
Right.
It could be telepathically.
Right.
So we're going to try that, and the technique is very simple. I'm going to be drumming. You're going to lay down, or you can sit in your chair, relax, and you're going to imagine a portal, a place where you can go down deep into the earth. It could be a well of water, it could be a spring of water, it could be a cave, it could be a tunnel, it could be a crack in the sidewalk or in the rock. It also could be an elevator that you can take you down to the lower world if you are lazy, or you can take an escalator down to the subway if that was something that you want. It doesn't really matter. And it's very much like Alice in Wonderland, which is a totally shamanic story. If you want to imagine yourself going down the chute and you enter into a different world. And that's the world of, we don't know what it's going to be. It could be a desert, it could be a mountain, it could be a jungle, it could be an ocean, it could be a waterfall. We don't know. And every landscape is just fine. And as you walk through this dark tunnel or down the chute, and you're coming out of into the different reality, look for an animal. See if you can see any animal, and then if you do and you feel connected to that animal, ask it if introduce yourself. Tell that animal why you are here. They want to know, and tell them that. Ask them if they're willing to be your power animal. And if they do, ask them what is it that they need to teach you? What's the message that they can, or the medicine that they have for you? What do you need to learn from them? And what do you need to learn about yourself?
Okay. And you're going to guide us through this process?
No.
All right.
No. Here,
okay.
in these techniques, the drum will guide you.
Okay.
That's why we have the drumming. The drumming is almost like you're riding a horse into that reality.
Are you going to be giving us tips along the way?
No.
Not at all? You're just going to drum?
Not at all. You would not need that, really.
Okay.
All you have to do is just imagine. So.
Okay.
But let me just say that if the animals say no, and it could be that the animal would say no, ask it to take you to another animal and another animal. Don't be afraid. Sometimes you can fly, go into the ocean, go through fire, going through all the different experiences. Most people who are not successful the first time is people who feel fear. for the unknown or letting go. So if you experience that, just mention to yourself that I am afraid. I'm afraid to know. Maybe I need to drop that judgment, maybe, and just go with that images, or just make it up. Imagine something new. So I'm going to drum for
Okay.
about 5 to 7 minutes like that.
And so you're not going to talk me through it at all. So you're going to just drum. I'm going to close my eyes.
Exactly.
And relax. And then I should visualize going into the earth.
Yes.
And then finding an animal. And then
Yes.
once I find the animal, then I ask my question.
Exactly.
And then when and so I spend some time with the animal, finding my answers or looking around or whatever. They might guide me somewhere, and I should go.
Yeah.
And then you're going to drum me out, right?
Yes. So the callback is, I'm going to drum like that for
Okay.
for that 5-7 minutes, and then I'm going to change the rhythm. It's going to be 4 times like that.
And it's sort of like wake up.
Yeah, and use this time to thank the animal,
Okay.
to bring gratitude to the animal for the teaching, for the journey, for whatever you receive. And then I'm going to change the rhythm again. It's going to be fast, and that will be a time for a callback to start tracing your footsteps back.
Okay.
So try to remember the journey, every detail of the journey, because it's very important. It's important, the color, the texture, what the other animal you've seen, what the weather was, if it was water, if it was sunny, if it was dark, if it was night, all of these details. Later on we can go and analyze the journey, and you can see what's important. And then at the very end of it, I'm going to drum 4 times.
Okay. Great.
All right?
Okay.
Shall we start?
Yes.
Okay, good. So take a big breath in and exhale. And another big breath in and exhale. And let's go on the journey. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Bring life back to your body.
So that was interesting. So, can we talk a little bit more about the spirit animals then? I mean,
Sure.
do they have different significances when we experience them?
Sure. What animal did you have?
I had two. I think that's kind of maybe not such a, but I found a wolf that sort of guided me for a while, and then I found the eagle again, the same eagle came back later, and then we flew around a little bit. So.
So we're not going to analyze each of the elements of your journey, but the wolf every animal represents its medicine, what it's good at, and the way the shamanic tradition,
what it's good at,
or what we call good or bad, it doesn't matter. But the quality of that particular animal, what we call it, the medicine or the energy, the quality. So the wolf is an animal of loyalty. It's an animal that works in a team. So it's for you, this particular time in your life as a teacher, he was teaching you to be loyal and to build a team around you. You cannot do it alone. You need a team, you need a family, you need a community to do what you need to do together. So the wolf has an incredible hearing, incredible eyes, and incredible smell. So it's about expanding your senses. It's about seeing the vastness of the universe as an opportunity, but also to be agile and but also to build a team around you, to be part of a community. You cannot do it yourself by yourself.
So when we find these spirit animals, I mean, not just today, but in the future, how do we analyze them? Do we sort of
observe them?
So we do it like sort of by our own intuition about how we felt about that animal?
Exactly, yeah. Or you can also Google power animal and the animal that you've seen, and you can see if it fits who you are. The eagle, for instance, is a different teaching. So you have here one that is very close to the earth, the wolf, and then you have the bird that fly you up into the sky, so you can see the world from above and from a higher perspective. And the eagle and the condors are the birds with a larger wingspan, and they teach us to go the highest, closest to God, to the sun, which is the
That's
sun.
what it felt like, actually. Yeah,
yes.
It totally felt like that.
Yes. So it pulls you up, so you can see the world not from the details of your life, but to have a bigger perspective of your life. And the teaching for the eagle is to develop trust. Both the eagle and the condor, they are birds that really don't flap their wing much. They just jump into the canyon. They jump from the top of the mountains, from the rocks, and they let the current of the air to fly them wherever they need to be. And so it is teaching to trust. Or you can ask yourself, what is it I don't trust in the unseen world, right? So it's important to analyze what your power animal. I mean, I can go through each of the animals, but
we don't have time for that.
But you can see the wisdom of that, and the wisdom of shamanism is really is the teaching of observing nature, observing each animal, to observe the trees, the cycle of life, to observe the river that flows and what it brings with it, to observe the weather. I mean, it's all about learning through observation of the natural world, which is what we call the science of nature.
And don't you think that the journeying process and seeing these animals and asking for teaching, don't you think it's sort of just a way of getting in touch with our, for lack of a better word, subconscious, or like an interior part of ourselves that maybe we've been neglecting, and by doing these different journeys, we sort of are opening ourselves up into our own stories, you know?
Well, it is a mystery. We don't know. Some people absolutely sure that this is their subconscious and they make it up.
But is that so bad? I mean,
no, this is actually a wonderful way to go deep inside yourself and ask yourself all these questions. Do I trust the unseen world?
mm-hmm.
Do I like to have team around me? I mean, this is all very valid questions. If you ask me, my personal experience is I believe that those spirits do exist. I see them. When I teach, I see those spirits in the room above the people who journey. So I know what if the wolf is going around, or if it's a snake, or if it's other animals like that.
So was I lying? Was I lying about my wolf and my eagle?
No, because I closed my eyes. I didn't watch. It's not important for this particular. It's not important, but there are some. No, there are sometimes I see a snake going around the room, and that person said that he didn't see the snake, but the woman who laid next to him saw the snake, and that saw the snake. So sometimes we don't. You have to remember that our sensory ability is very limited, and we are limiting our children as they grow up to even shut this down even more. So for us, for doing one exercise is not enough. But if you live in this world, if you live in the possibility that those spirits are actual existing, even though we don't see it, we see it in a different way, like a hologram, but that doesn't mean that they don't exist. So to answer that question, it's not that important.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we're pretty much out of time here. But I mean, I kind of want to ask a very short question, which is, if we wanted to continue this sort of practice, I guess these sorts of things really, the bottom line is to sort of just open yourself up. Open yourself up to the coincidences that happen in life. Open yourself up to your dream world. And, you know, and if you're able to do a shamanic journey, open yourself up to that and sort of really get in touch with those things that maybe are either what you consider, either whether it be deep inside of you or just outside your realm or whatever it is, but to sort of open yourself up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to have the courage to do it.
Yes.
Most people don't.
Yeah.
And the more you become vulnerable, when you're not limiting yourself, your human experience, the more you feel stronger and happier and balanced.
Great. Well,
but
again,
you can always come to the New York Shamanic Circle. There is we have 3 different circles a month that you can come and experience that in a community, and it's a very powerful experience to do it in a community compared to do it at yourself at your home. But it will teach you how to do it and use it in everyday life and to help you in your life.
Well, thank you so much for coming.
You're very welcome.
And
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah.
And
I'm very happy you are here. And we'll see you again sometime.
You're welcome.
Thank you.